So, continuing with our discussion on force and motion, we now take a look at the first condition of equilibrium. A system or object is said to be in equilibrium state if the net force acting on the object is equal to 0. You have an object, several forces are acting on the object, get the net force, get the sum of the forces, and if the net force is equal to 0, the system or object is in equilibrium state. Now, if the net force is 0, we know that the acceleration is 0, the velocity is constant. On the other hand, if the net force is not 0, if the system is not in a state of equilibrium, F net is not equal to 0, then the acceleration is not equal to 0, the velocity is not constant. So, a system in equilibrium is characterized by constant velocity. It is not accelerating. For constant velocity, the velocity may be constant at 0 or it may be constant at a non-zero value. If the velocity is equal to 0, the system is said to be in static equilibrium, static case in other words. And if the velocity is not equal to 0, it is constant at a non-zero value, the system is undergoing uniform motion. So in addition to force analysis, you can also perform uniform motion analysis on the system if the constant velocity is not equal to 0. On the other hand, if the system is not in a state of equilibrium, the net force is not equal to 0, the acceleration of the system or object is not equal to 0, the velocity is not constant, the acceleration is not equal to 0, you have an accelerating system. And for an accelerating system, the net force is equal to mass times acceleration. Typically, when doing force analysis, one of the first things you need to determine is whether the system is in equilibrium state, F net is equal to 0, or if the system is an accelerating system, F net is equal to ma. And that basically gives you an idea on how you do force analysis on systems or objects. After analyzing the forces applied on the system, you either set the net force to 0, equilibrium system, equilibrium state, or you set the net force to mass times acceleration, you have an accelerating system. And that's it for now. In the next video, we'll take a look at net force analysis and some examples on how you do force analysis. So thank you for watching.